That is a badum, but we are more focused on... Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the NORL F1 2018 Championship. We're back for the first race in NORL for January. And it is here at Monza. Now, we're quickly just trying to resolve a sound glitch with F1 2018. It's not the first time we've had it by any means. But there we go, all prop fixed. So we're currently watching Nibbler because he is the man with a plan. He is the man who is currently going fastest of anyone. He did go quite wide in Lesmo 1, and that's going to cost him some time against Danny Ibn Lahar, who's in a close second. Bit of a scruffy Lesmo 2 as well, but so far the rest of his lap has been so good that it's kept him in contention. We have some new fellows joining us for tonight's racing. We have, for the first time ever, Tata Renner joining the NORL series, and Maka 1022 joining the series as well. Them two new drivers to the series. It's currently Danny Ibn Lahar, the man who is at his home race, who is going along and going to try take pole position as he comes into Parabolica. He's got to battle the Australian, who's now struggling to Ragnar. Oh, and that's a big track extension for Danny Ibn Lahar. He's going to be lucky there to not get his lap time invalidated. Coming up to the line, and it's Danny Ibn Lahar who takes pole position for the NORL F1 2018 Italian Grand Prix. And it looked like it was going to be Nibbler, but it was a scruffy lap from the Aussie in the end. And the man at his home race takes the pole. Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen, back to the stream. And it has been a while since we've talked NORL on this channel, and big plans for the future of NORL. And it is Danny Ibn Lahar then taking that pole position. So a lot of people doing some different stuff. Callum Spencer, Dougie Efferman, and Galactic Skull 2 all opting to take a soft compound tyre start to go deeper into the first stint and kind of do a reverse stint to everybody else. So the people making their debut today, Maka 1022 qualifies in P9 for his first NORL race, as well as Tata Renner couldn't manage anything but last today in his first NORL event. Unfortunately for him, he'll hope to have a better race as we get ready to go into said race. So we're just getting ready for the racing to get underway as the drivers load in. Okay. It is time then for the formation lap. So after the mid-season, it is Chazza. That's a Force India getting an absolute stonker of a start on the formation lap. It is time for the first race since last year in NORL to get underway, and it is F1 2018. Now we're quickly having a look here because it's Chazza who leads the way in the championship by 36 points. And that man could only manage P4 on the qualifying grid today. As you can see, qualifies P4. It was pretty quick lap time, but it was so close up at the front today, so that'll be very interesting. I'm interested to see the new debutants in Maka 1022 and Tata Renner here today. Look and see how they get along in their first ever NORL F1 race, one in a Red Bull, one in a McLaren. But I'm more interested to see how these three, Callum Spencer, who has swapped to the Supersofts now, so maybe not Callum Spencer anymore, Dougie Afroman and Galactic Skull 2, the two Sauber boys, going on the soft compounded tyre, so I'm going to see how they can do in that alternate stint. Maverick has swapped to the softs now as well, so that's going to be interesting. This is a very scruffy formation lap, one of the scruffiest I've ever seen. The guys are coming around and they're eager to get racing again. They've had the Christmas break and now they're eager to get going once again. Hello everybody that is joining the stream. Welcome along for another race of chaos. Tata Renner gets disqualified from the formation. That's a Red Bull on the grass there. That is Maka 1022. So Danny will lead them away at his home Grand Prix. He'll be followed by a very eager Australian, followed by another compatriot in the form of Italy's own Ragnar, ahead of Chazza, championship leader. And then it's another Italian of Testameister rounding out the top 5. So it's very much going to be very interesting. The Italians looking for a good race here today. Can Danny Ibn Lahar take the win away from Nimbler today? Let's find out. Hello to Mark in the chat. How you doing, buddy? Welcome along. Gets you itching to go racing, doesn't it? Seeing the first NORL race of the year. Let's find out if it's going to be a good one. It's going to be 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. Who got a better start out the front? It looks like Chazza actually got a very good start compared to his teammate. His teammate's going to be swamped coming into turn 1. He's already been passed by Ragnar. Nowhere for Chazza. He has to go to the outside, but his teammate defends well. Actually manages to survive and get that position back away from Ragnar. Good stuff for a good recovery. We've got a little bit of contact in the background. I think I heard a car spinning. We're just checking through to see if everyone made it okay. They did make it okay. So someone nearly spun but didn't. Nemesis Racing has made it up into 4th. He's now feeling some pressure from Chazza HD. Coming up into the next section, Maka picks up a 5-second stop-go penalty for a severe collision with Tartarena. Both the debutants getting tangled together very early on in this race. And that's going to bring out some yellow flags in Sector 1 and 2. Racing still continuing. That is Dougie Aframan going very wide in the Sauber. And you can see there is Maverick and Lordjaw, the 2 new Mercedes teammates going at it, Hammer and Tong. And it's Danny Ibn Lahar then that leads from Nibbler. Nibbler's trying his best. And there we can see Nemesis Racing having to defend from Chazza. Trying to go around the outside. Sets up a switch back for himself. Is that going to work? The Ferrari struggling in these early phases of the Grand Prix compared to the Haas. And Nemesis holds on for a little while yet. Doesn't have to worry about anything else. Look at this absolutely beautiful shot of all the cars going together. Long way to go in this race. But the first attack of Nibbler is about to begin down this front start finish straight. And here we go, Danny sets the fastest lap of the race, of course, the first man to cross the line, so he will get the first fastest lap, but can he hold on from the first attack of Nibbler? He's actually offering the inside line to Nibbler. Nibbler says, thank you very much, goes from a long way back. Can he make it around the outside? No, he can't, so Danny manages to hold on to the second part of that. How much ERS did these boys use? I think Danny used a fraction more ERS, holding on to that one. Tartarena gets a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Nibbler going for the lead up the inside into the first chicane. Is he going to be able to pull that one off? Maka picks up a similar penalty as Tartarena. Up into the lead for Nibbler, 3:31. And he takes pole position, and that's Nemesis spinning in the background. Haas almost going into the wall, but manages to hold on. Will slip back in 6th. That could have been so much worse. Oh, and Kevin Jacobs in the other half makes a similar mistake, and that's going to allow Murcielago to move up the inside. But now Kevin Jacobs is really on the back of Murcielago here and is going to see if he can retake that position immediately in the slipstream. Pulls to the inside and goes into 8th gear flat out. What a beautiful shot as the Orca flies. Oh, it's going to be free abreast coming into the chicane. But no, Dougie Aframan wisely back out. Free wide in Ascari has never worked, and it never will work. But Dougie Aframan does pick a position. Kevin Jacobs going very wide as well. Now Lordjaw, that's going to allow him to go side by side with Dougie Aframan. These guys will now drive side by side, and they've both got a bit of slipstream each on either side, and it's been an absolutely crazy start. And we can see that Murcielago wants some pressure from Kevin Jacobs. Kevin Jacobs going a little bit wide, and now you can see Lord Jordan in the U background as well. Dougie Aframan falling back just a little bit. Look at this trend going down into turn 1. Kevin Jacobs pulls to the inside of the Ken. A little bit of a rubber banding between the Red Bull and the Haas there. And now the Sauber of Galactic Skull 2 is getting involved. All of a sudden out of nowhere, look at this absolute train. It's going to be Kevin Jacobs going down the inside, but he goes too deep, and that's going to chalk everybody up. Everyone will be very lucky not to lose any of the front wing going through there. And now Lord Jod UK can get on the throttle. Try to take the position away from Murcielago for P10, but he's got to fight for it, because Dougie Aframan's getting involved as well. Look at his absolute crazy train of 4 cars. Almost going to be free aggressive again. Dougie backs out of it. Doesn't make it a free wide situation, but Kevin makes a mistake as well, as does Lord Job. Big mistake there from Dougie Aframan. Puts his teammate at the hands of Maverick DC88, returnee to NORL after a long time, going around the outside of Lesmo 1. And that crazy train is over for a little bit, or is it? Because Kevin Jacobs is off at Lesmo number 2. He's going to spin across the track. Maverick just misses him. That's the Sauber in the wall. That is a Mercedes collecting a Sauber. Dougie Aframan is out after being collected by Maverick, who had nowhere to go. That was absolutely crazy. And it was all caused by Kevin going off at Lesmo 2. That was something you see in Formula 3, not Formula 1, lads. What a crazy, crazy fiasco. Yellow flags in Sector 2 as someone else had another drama. So Nibbler still leads from Danny, who has got DRS, but only just. Dougie will be absolutely furious with that. I am certain Murcielago closing in on Maverick as well. Sorry, vice versa, pulling away from Maverick. He's actually closing in on Maverick's teammate of Lord George UK. And there you can see Callum Spencer's going at it with Seppi up the inside. DRS wide open. This is the move for P11. Moved on quite easily by the Welshman on Seppi. And you can see that Kevin Jacobs into the pit lane as well. Yellow flags in Sector 2. Someone's had a bit of a nightmare. Not sure who it is. Whoever it is has got all sorted out and is back on the way. I think it might have been Testermeister because he's lost an awful lot of time to Lord Jord. Apologies for that. Chazza closing in on Ragnar. Oh, I just saw that is Maka, who's had a spin in the Lesmos, and Maka's been disqualified from the session for parking, and Danny Bin Lahar has retired as well. Danny Bin Lahar has had a crash. That's not a disconnection, that is a crash. You can see him on the inside there. He's had a spin from second place, and he's out. Danny Bin Lahar has crashed out of the session from P2. Dougie Afroman has been collected by Maverick on the very fourth lap. Oh, and there is Kevin Jacobs making another mistake. Once again, we've lost 3 drivers in 4 laps. Now the battle for that promotes both Chazza up into third and on the podium. Cal Spencer overtakes Testameister because he's going for an early first stop because he needs a new front wing. Nibbler walks away with another race so far. Saragno in second, Chazza in third, just half a second behind him. Someone is having a bad day. A lot of people are having a bad day. DRS open for Chazza. And is he going to go for the move into Ascari? No, he's going to hang back. Locks up the front left, but stays behind the Italian for now, because now he'll get a second burst of Slipstream going into Parabolica, and he'll have to decide whether he wants to make the move into Parabolica, or if he wants to wait and make the move into Turn 1 with the help of DRS. And it looks like he's opted to stay behind and go for that DRS. More of not to give Ragnar the benefit of DRS. That was very close between the two. Good driving, both of them side by side on the straight, and Chazza should get a bit of DRS to help him with his troubles and help minimize the threat of Ragnar coming back. You can just see Chazza pulling away. Ragnar has nothing to answer with, but a very late dive bomb to try scare Chazza off the road. No, doesn't quite scare him off the road. And around they go once again, heading up to the first chicane. And is Ragnar going to send it here? I think he is. He looks to the inside, tries to sell Chazza a dummy. It does kind of force Chazza into locking up, but then Ragnar makes contact with Chazza on that one. I wonder if any damage was sustained there. Here is the Welshman of Callum Spencer closing in on Galactic Skull 2, looking to go around the outside of the Scotsman. And he gets the move done for P8. Good move by Callum Spencer, maximising the grip from them super soft tyres. Ragnar then still trying to chase down Chazza for his revenge to get second place back. Chazza makes a little bit of mistake in Ascari. That's going to allow Ragnar to close back in. I'm going to be within DRS range for Parabolica. 15 people have tuned into NORL F1 2018. Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all doing? What a crazy race you've missed if you're only just tuning in. It's been absolutely crazy. So here we go then. DRS for Ragnar. Is he going to go for the attack on Chazza? And here we go then. Oh, and look how late Chazza moves. He covers off the inside. And that's going to allow... No, Kevin... Wow, he just sends it. Ragnar just completely sends it. Oh, and contact between the top two again. There was a lot of contact in that move. It wasn't the cleanest of moves from either party. Not the cleanest racing by any of these gents. Galactic Skull 2 trying to come back around the outside of Callum Spencer going into turn 1, but allows the Welshman to have the preferable line. Meanwhile, Ragnar and Chazza still going at it in the chicane. And it's Ragnar that takes P2 away from Chazza, but for how long? So we'll go through Lesmos again. Glad Skull 2 isn't close enough. So we got a few driver reactions coming in. Chazza then closing in with DRS. We'll get to those driver reactions in a moment when we see what Chaz is going to do with this. He's going to have to try and go around the outside for Ascari, and Ragnar gives him just enough room and nothing more. Really harsh but fair racing there from Ragnar, and that's going to make Chaz's life a little bit harder, but he is going to get the slipstream again, going down into Parabolica. As he follows him through Parabolica. Going a little bit wide, he's going to get DRS. If he's going to be able to maximise it, he is quite far back. You'd hope that he'd have. Just looking there, you see the blue bar at the bottom of Ragnar's dashboard. You can see how much ERS they have. They're both using as much as they can. How far back is Chaz going to send this from? Not very. He's going to use the racing line to try and get himself a better run through the chicane, which does work spectacularly. And now we'll try and use that to make a move into the second chicane, and he's got to hog all of the slipstream from the Toro Rosso as we come around Curva Grande, and he'll look for the inside. But he's been forced to the outside. That's not a very good place to make a move. He's got to again try a switchback, but a big double front lockup from Chazza will prevent him from being able to make that move on that particular occasion. Through the Lesmos we come. Ragnar leads the way, separating the Ferraris from a 1-2. A little bit of understeer from Chazza in Lesmo 2. Well, I'm sure make his job a little bit harder coming down into Ascari. So here we go again. DRS open, and Ragnar inches towards the inside, but doesn't need to go all the way. But this time it's Chazza who gets the better exit out of Ascari. No, he doesn't, because he goes wide. Maybe a bit of front wing damage at this point in the race for Chazza. He's looking for anything. Good evening to Gareth Lennon. Welcome along in the chat, buddy. We will talk to the chat in just a moment. We're just waiting to see the outcome of this battle between Chazza and Ragnar. And it looks like Chazza's going to try and go clean around the outside on Ragnar. So you're going to be going anywhere? No, because Ragnar covers the inside line again, but these two will battle again, and a switchback will happen from Chazza once again. He needs to get the throttle all the way down and push to go around the outside of Curva Grande, because he's just got his nose in, but now he's losing it, because now Ragnar can move and cover that inside line, and it's going to force Chazza, but Chazza makes a very late dart for the inside, and is he going to be able to make that move up the inside? No, he breaks late, because Ragnar has gone straight on, off the track, and into the gravel. So, big mistake from Ragnar, gifts P2 to the Ferrari of Chazza. And that's going to put him under pressure from Nemesis Racing. So let's get to the chat. Well, we have a little bit of peace and time to get to the chat. Dougie Afroman, the man who DNF'd on lap number 4 after having that huge accident. He says that Kevin rejoined unsafely through Lesmo 2, and it clipped Dougie Afroman, which caused Dougie to lose his front wing. And then, of course, he says someone punted him into the barrier and he lost the wheel. And that was Maverick. We saw Maverick had nowhere to go in that incident and did hit the back of Dougie Afroman. And that's what caused the crazy accident that we saw. And, of course, Danny Ibn Lahad just says that he's such an idiot. Obviously not happy with his mistake, but we are human and we all do make mistakes. Not a great way to start 2019 for Danny, but I'm sure he'll be back and fast, just as fast as he always is for round 15 next time out. And then there's Gareth Lennon in the chat, cheering on for Galactic Skull 2 and wishing us a good evening. Welcome, Gareth Lennon. You have missed some absolutely crazy crashes so far today. And your man Galactic Skull 2 is on an alternate strategy to everyone else at the moment, as you can bear with me, as you can well see, on leader of the drivers on the soft tyres. So Tester Meister is going to the end, as is Kevin Jacobs on the medium tyres. I'm just watching this little battle between Ragnar, Nemesis and Lord Jord. It's a little train coming through Ascari at the moment. This is for the top 5 to the podium. It's a good run out of the Ascari chicane for Lord Jord. However, Nemesis has got a lot of ERS saved up for the next straight, whereas Lord George has wasted his. Nibbler into the pits, by the way, for Ferrari. So the first stopper today. Onto the soft compound of tyre. As you can see, here's Lord George trying whatever he can to close in, but he's used so much ERS, and Nemesis has just been able. Murcielago picks up a 5-second stop, go up speeding in the pit lane. That's from an awful long way back from Lord George. Very valiant effort. Great effort. Wasn't able to go anywhere with it, though. See, that is Galactic Skull 2. Was battling with Nibbler, the race leader coming out the pits. Did wise to let him through, I think. Not his battle. And Nibbler would have passed him on that fresh rubber anyway. And maybe Galactic Skull 2 can follow that. Meanwhile, there's Cal Spencer closing in on Seppi again, going for the inside with DRS. Gets the move done on Seppi once again, but goes deep. Goes over the sausage curbs. Seppi isn't close enough to capitalise on that, though. So he gets away with that for now. Galactic Skull 2 is following Nibbler. It's a close battle. Lord George is going after Nemesis once again. Again, Nemesis has more ERS saved up, but Lord George doesn't care because he's going to go for the inside anyway of Ascari. That's so close. Nemesis has to go on the AstroTurf to avoid. And now look how close they are because Lord George gets to switch back and they'll be side by side. Look at this shot. Beautiful shot of the Mercedes and the Haas side by side running into Parabolica. Got to go around the outside there? No, he does not. Going for a switchback once again. Beautiful helicopter shot will just show you the effects of the switchback. Now, the problem we have here is Lord George has DRS, but he doesn't have ERS. Is he going to be able to make the move regardless? Ragnar pits, by the way. Lord George going up the inside of Nemesis Racing, looking for the inside, and gets the move done. Great move by Lord George for P2. Of course, these guys have still got a pit. Great racing from the pair of them. And Nemesis is going to come back on him, I'm sure. He's going to use all that ERS to try and get the position back because Lord George has wasted all of his. And Nemesis is just going to use the extra horsepower to take P2 back away from the Mercedes. Is there anything the Mercedes could do on the outside? Doesn't look like it. Can try another switch back. It's a clever move, but when the Nemesis racing car has better top line speed because of that, oh, very close not to lose their front wing there, going through there. Super close racing between these two. Good effort. Really good driving between the two, and what a display. DRS will help him, but how much ERS does Nemesis have in store? Nemesis not using an awful lot of his ERS, conserving in it for just to glide on past, and I think he'll do the same again. He might deploy it on the exit of Ascari. As you can see, the little bar now starts to go down. But Lord George pulls to the inside to stop Nemesis getting a sniff of slipstream. Chazza responds to his teammate's pit stop. And seeing if he can cover off Ragnar's attempt of an undercut. 5-second stop go for Lord George speeding in the pit lane. So the move was actually complete. That's interesting. He completed the move and then got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane anyway. Chazza exits the pit lane. Nemesis in for his stop. Mercedes versus Haas. And Mercedes do hold up Haas then. So Nemesis will lose a bit of time to Lord George. There goes Ragnar. And Chaz is all the way in the first chicane, so it's been a successful cover-off. You just see Lord George is going to come out just behind Callum Spencer. Meanwhile, Testermeister has come from a rocket ship's distance, and wow, Murcielago still tried to hold it around the outside. Crazy driving from these two. Tester gets the move done. And he does get the position made. There is an issue for Seppi in the pits. Seppi, not sure what we just witnessed. Issue for Seppi. He's now stuck with what seems to be the pit limiter on. I'm not sure. Something gone wrong for Seppi, regardless. Some kind of game error by the looks of things. Tata Renner's coming on to Kevin Jacobs. Man making his debut today. Had a crash with Maka early in the race. There is massive understeer from that McLaren. Big understeer. Murcielago's coming back on Testermeister. No love lost between these two. Can he hold it around the outside? He's definitely going to get a run on Testermeister. This will be good to watch. Oh, contact between the two. Big contact. Nothing between them, though. Side by side, DRS in favour of Murcielago's going to pull him alongside and help him go around the outside. Tester's still going to try hold it on the inside, but has to surrender it and makes a mistake, a big mistake in doing so. And that's going to cost him. Meanwhile, Chazza has overtaken this man Maverick, who is yet to pit. Of course, Galactic 2 is yet to pit as well. On the 13 lap, all soft tyres. So, Nibbler pitted 3 laps ago for these tyres, and he's definitely trying to go to the end. So I think he was able to cover about 11 laps on the soft compound of tyre. So if Galactic Skull 2, he needs 11 laps in his window left. So if Galactic Skull 2 can just make another lap, then he's safe. And he does actually go a lap early, so it's going to be a bit of a longer second stint, but he should be able to get to the end on a set of super sauce. So a reverse strategy to what those around him are doing. And there the super sauce going on the Salver. The first of the alternate strategy guys to pit. Maverick stays out, albeit Lord George, his teammate, is under pressure from Nemesis Racing, who's going up the inside with DRS. Gets the move done. Maverick will hear from his teammate that he's been passed, and we'll have to... Oh, that was Murcielago making a mistake there. Right in front of Galactic Skull 2, who was looking to capitalise on... Oh, big lag from Murcielago. Tata Renner picks up another penalty, his second of the day. Oh, oh, oh! What do you even say to that? What do you even commentate at that point? Crazy lag going on from Murcielago at the moment. It's like even crazier lag from Testa. I really hope for Galactic Skull 2 set that I didn't pick up any damage of that. That was scary. That was a very strange accident. That was 100. It was definitely lag, like, but just what do you say? That was absolutely crazy. So Lord George closing in on Nemesis Racing again. This time he's about 0.8 of a second behind, coming in to the first chicane, trying to gain all the time that he can on these medium compounded tyres. Now Murcielago pits. Murcielago definitely picked up some damage from that. And there's Kevin Jacobs getting past Murcielago in the pit lane, who has pitted for a new front wing. But, I mean, unfortunately, I don't think Murcielago can blame anyone or anything but his connection on that one. He was really lagging. Callum Spencer is up into P5 on these super soft tyres. He was quite an early pit stop. Probably looks like a 2-stop for Callum Spencer, because he started on the super softs as well. So a 2-stop strategy for Callum Spencer has put him into P5 at the moment. Still yet has to make his second stop at a Grand Prix. And these guys now are getting around the final corner, and Maverick pits then. On 15 laps he gets out of those tyres, which means he just has 10 laps to go on the super softs. Maverick will be in a strong position come the end of the Grand Prix. Cam Spencer makes his second stop that we were just talking about, and this time it's for softs, because he hasn't used the softs at all in this race yet. Fastest lap, by the way, from Galactic Skull 2. Good lap, showing that the super soft strategy is very good at the moment. But yeah, Callum Spencer hadn't used the soft compound of tyres yet, so he needed to, because he did a super soft, and now soft. And then these two will go toe-to-toe for the final 10 laps, in terms of Maverick and Callum Spencer, sorry. Okay, so just looking, the smallest gap is currently Galactic Skull 2 closing in on Lord George UK of about 1.5 seconds. Closing down to 1 second now. Galactic Skull 2 to making massive gains on Lord George. Now this is a phase of the race where Galactic Skull 2 will be quicker. Murcielago's getting penalties left, right and centre. Now, he's going to be quicker, but he just needs to be consistent. He's done the hard work, he's done the tyre management of the soft compound tyres, the slower tyres in the start of the race, and now he just needs to go hunting. And Jesus, what is going on with Murcielago at the moment? 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. That's a big penalty. He's had a few. Maybe driving out of frustration at the moment. But regardless, getting penalties left, right and centre. Galactic Skull 2 has closed right on in on Lord George UK to within half a second now. Lord George's on mediums, older mediums, so all the grip is in Galactic Skull 2's advantage here now. Looking to go up these, no, nothing doing. Lord George goes, oh, a little bit of a mistake. He got on the throttle too early, did Galactic Skull 2 there. It's fine, it is recoverable, but a mistake that gives the half second he gained on Lord George back to him. Yellow flags in Sector 3, and that's because Murcielago has retired from the session. Not sure where that accident is. It's somewhere around the final sector. Haven't seen the car yet. Not sure. The accident has been cleared, but we couldn't see it riding on board with Tata there. Galactic Skull 2 has closed in immediately back on Lord George, so the pace advantage is huge for Galactic Skull 2 at the moment. Looking to go to the inside of Parabolica, the two very close together. Definitely close to making contact if they didn't already. Lord George has a bit more ERS to come back on Galactic Skull 2 here. Pulls into the slipstream immediately and gets into 8th gear. But now Galactic Skull 2 has DRS open to try help his cause in defending against Lord George UK. Now, looks like he's got the hard work done. Takes 5th place away from Lord George, and he's on younger and softer tyres. Good effort from Galactic Skull 2, but he's got a while to go on them tyres. So the best of them is probably going away now. So he might have to defend from Lord George later in this race when the soft compound tyres do start to get a little bit tricky to drive. Ooh, big slide from Lord George in the first sector. Kevin Jacobs managed 15 laps on medium tyres. Doesn't look like he's confident that he can get to the end there. Pits puts on some super soft tyres. Now Galactic Skull 2 is only about 2.2 seconds away from Nemesis Racing for 4th place. 4th place is definitely doable for Galactic Skull 2 here today. Just got to play his cards close to his chest and keep it steady. Here goes Maverick, meanwhile, side by side with Tester Meister up the inside with DRS. Looking like he's going to get that move done, like taking candy from a baby with those brand new super soft tyres. But he goes incredibly wide. That's going to allow Tester to come back, and Tester cuts the corner and crashes into the wall. Not sure. Oh! Maverick's out as well! Maverick had a crash as well! They're both out! Tester Meister and Maverick have both just had a crash. Was that lag involved? It looked like there might have been a little bit of net coding, because definitely on the stream screen, there was no contact. There was no contact in that one. What happened there? Be interesting to see. Everyone who finishes today will now score a point, at least. But that is one of the craziest. That was definitely lag involved. Galactic Skull 2 has brought the gap, meanwhile, to 1.3 to Nemesis Racing. Now he's took about a second away from Nemesis. Really good pace from Galactic Skull 2 here. We've got yellow flags in Sector 1. Who could be in Sector 1? Nobody. Whoever it was has got their stuff sorted out, and they've moved out of Sector 1. Wow, 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 wow. Just another crazy race in NORL, huh? So around Parabolica, Galactic Skull 2 goes a little bit wide. He's still got 6 laps to do on these super softs, so he's just got to be careful. and manage them. Just gotta keep the goodness in them. He's got more grip than Nemesis still at this phase, but they're both losing grip really quickly. So it's going to be interesting to see who is able to manage these tyres when they're both on low grip. So 1.5 is the gap. We'll keep an eye on that. It's now 1.4. But really loving these helicopter shots we're getting. Really nice to see. So just looking through other gaps in the field, Nibbler is leading the Ferrari 1-2 by about 10 seconds, so that's pretty good for him. And then Ragnar's kind of in no man's land. Kevin Jacobs now sets the fastest lap at a Grand Prix on them brand new super soft tyres, showing how pacey the super soft tyres really are. Lord George's in 6th. He's just behind this battle. He's on mediums. He could come into play in the final few laps of this Grand Prix. And then Callum J. Spencer, again, it's sort of in a no man's land. He's on new sauce, so if he's fast enough, he can catch Lord George UK here in the final 5 laps. And then Kevin Jacobs is massively behind Callum Spencer, but he is safe from Seppi, and Seppi's safe from Tata, so those guys' races are pretty much decided unless they crash out in the very last laps. So Galactic Skull 2 looks like he's just going to get within a second by the end of the straight of Nemesis Racing. Or just outside of a second, as it turns out to be. Just needs to be careful with the throttle application. Got to make sure he doesn't make a mistake. Just having a nosy at the gaps. Lord George is dropping back, and Callum Spencer's not really gaining on Lord George either. So this could be the main battle for the rest of the race. So through Lesmo as we go. Throttle open, and surely DRS this time for Galactic Skull 2. There was the finger going over and turning on the button that opens the rear wing and turns on the little green light on his dashboard, indicating that he has DRS. And look how much time he gains on Nemesis. Through into Ascari we come. I've just got to be careful. So many cars have spun out and had a crash at the end of there. And this time Galactic Skull 2 is going to be closing. And whoever's leading at this point won't get DRS on the next three. But Colin goes for it anyway, down the inside of Parabolica. He's done that before with Lord George. Does work out for him this time, but Nemesis is likely to get the DRS benefit because Galactic Skull 2 was now ahead at the DRS detection line. Oh no, Galactic Skull 2 got the DRS benefit. Wow, how has that happened? Galactic Skull 2 is in a beautiful position to take P4 away from Nemesis today. Wow, so Galactic Skull 2 got DRS despite being ahead at the DRS detection line for the second straight. Not sure how that has played out, but it has really helped Galactic Skull 2 pull away to half a second already. Now he just needs to remain consistent and he will be pulling away on them super softs. But again, Galactic Skull 2 super softs are younger than everyone else around him, but they are the softer compound of tyre. So they are going to wear quicker. Callum J. Spencer, while we said isn't really gaining, has gained 2 seconds on Lord George in the last couple of laps. Meanwhile, Tata has passed Seppi coming into Ascari. The battle for the final point is on. And it's Seppi versus the new boy. As Alonso would say, who is this? And Ragnar's coming up to lap these guys. Seppi takes a position back into Parabolica, but now Tata Renner is going to be closing in as well. On the throttle he will come, and surely Tata is going to have DRS on Seppi this time, so it might bring the battle into another little phase here. So, DRS open for Tata. Seppi goes incredibly defensive to withdraw any slipstream advantage that Tata may have get. Tata didn't follow him for the slipstream, but he breaks very, very late, and he's going to come back from so far back, make contact with Seppi. That's a bit of a silly move, but he does get himself in a position. Contact was definitely made from Seppi and Tata in that little battle that they just had. Meanwhile, Nemesis Racing closed right in on Galactic Skull 2 at the end of that straight. Wasn't able to make the move happen. Half a second between these two. And Ragnar has got a front row seat of this, but he needs to lap both these guys at some point. So that's going to be nerve-wracking for Ragnar. Could have a very controversial moment, obviously, if those guys get together. There is the battle for fourth, still ongoing. Galactic Skull 2 versus Nemesis Racing for that 4th place spot. Galactic Skull 2 has more ERS, just quickly flicking through there to see who had the more ERS. Galactic Skull 2 has more ERS than Nemesis at this stage of the Grand Prix, so it's really advantage Galactic Skull. He's on the better tyres, he's on less worn, got more ERS, but Nemesis has DRS, so we'll see how that comes into play, especially coming down the straights. Who is running the higher top speed setting and who is running more downforce? It's really hard to tell. 2 laps to go in this Grand Prix. And still, in terms of some positions, it is still all to play for. Not long to go at all. Cal Spencer's got within 3 seconds. Tata Reina has gone for an audacious move on Seppi once again. Looked like Seppi had been forced off the track there when we quickly forced back. I'm not sure. Definitely contact. Or did Seppi just make a mistake and outbrake himself? I'm not sure. Tata makes a move for P9, Seppi demoted to P10. If it was clean or not, it's hard to tell. That is a big corner cut from Seppi, which gets him a 3-second time penalty, which is effectively going to make Tartar's life easier. Tartar, though, does have a penalty for speeding in the pit lane earlier this race, so it could still be to play for Seppi here. He needn't not given up so far, so he shouldn't have to give up now, and I'm sure he won't give up. Even if he thinks he has a penalty and it's all over, he will still go for it, because there's a personal vendetta forming between these two, I'm sure. Tata Renner now picks up a penalty. Well, there you go, that answers our question. Now, neither of these guys will really know who's got a penalty and who hasn't, so they're both going to assume that they don't have penalties, and they're just going to go toe-to-toe, because here comes Seppi up the inside for Parabolica. Tata Renner turns in while Seppi's there. Contact is made, and now Tata gets a very late switchback, and now he's on the inside for the start-finish straight, and these two will drag race down the front start-finish straight. Seppi on the outside, Tata on the inside, but now Seppi moves over to cover the inside, and now role reversal. Tata's on the outside with DRS, and he's going to break very, very late. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? It is going to be Tata defending that position. Good move by Tata. And he says Tata and drives away. And the battle for last place is pretty exciting, to be fair. Not something we usually see a lot of in any racing event. The battle for last. Through to Lesmo 1. And now Lesmo 2. Now Seppi goes a little bit wide, but will again have DRS, so that will bring into this little battle duet. He'll be able to at least close right in on the back. If he'll be able to do anything with it will depend on how he takes Ascari. Carl Spencer's caught Lord George UK, DRS open, and he'll look to make the move into Ascari. Lord George's going defensive. Cal's going to have to do this around the outside if he wants the position. What an overrun he's got. And it's like taking candy from a baby. Easy move around the outside. Good move from Cal Spencer. Up into P6 he goes. That is all said and done. Meanwhile, Tartar's coming back on Seppi, who's made the move into Parabolica. So this is round about number 20. Oh, wow, contact almost pushing him down the start-finish straight. Goes for the inside. DRS open, braking heavily, aiming for that inside corner. Goes a little bit wide. That's going to allow Seppi to try switch back, but he's in the way. There's nowhere he could switch back to. And it's put Seppi back into last. These guys have got one lap amongst themselves to sort this duet back. Everyone battling on this last lap. Nemesis and Galactic Skull 2 are still in their battle. Carl Spencer's gone. He's left Lord Job Chip, Seppi and Tata. We all know what's going on there. Their battle is still going on as we come into the second Lesmo. Seppi will have DRS and look to make a move, but we're focusing on this man right now because it's been a dominant performance today. His teammates been nowhere near. It is Nibbler that wins in Monza. Great race by the Australian, takes the victory and takes a Ferrari 1-2 at Monza. Seppi, meanwhile, oh! What have I just seen? Huge accident between the McLaren and the Toro Rosso sees the McLaren DNF on the final lap. What a crazy race. I just want to clarify, we have had 6 cars this race. Look how close that was between Nemesis Racing and Galactic Skull 2 in the end. Galactic Skull 2 takes 4th from Nemesis. Very close. What a crazy race. We have had 6 cars. 7 cars, even. DNF in this race. That's more than... That is insane. That is almost half of the grid. DNF. Who would have thought Monza would be the driver killer of the season? But it is Nibbler with a stunning drive today, a stunning dominant display. Crazy, absolutely crazy. And you will see the podium now, occupied in Ferrari Scarlet Red. And Ragnar picks up another podium at his home Grand Prix. Good effort. Oh, what a race. What a race. Tartar got absolutely annihilated on that final lap. Really not sure what happened, but he went off at such speed. So here are your race results. Nibbler wins from Chaza in P2. Ragnar takes home the podium. Galactical 2 made the alternate strategy work today and took P4. And then it's Nemesis Racing lining out the top 5. Callum J. Spencer finished 6th. Lord George 7th. Kevin Jacobs and Seppi last of the finishers. A lot of people, I think, will be going to the stewards today after such a crazy race. We've had so many DNFs today. Insane. Absolutely insane. Thank you so much for watching another round of the Nemesis Online Racing League. That has been the craziest one I think we've had all season. But you can catch us again next Sunday for more of the same. Thank you so much for watching, and until next Sunday, we'll see you then. Goodbye.